As we mentioned earlier, Nyali MP Awito Bolo can finally speak about the KTN expose that put him right at the center of a lead poisoning saga in Mombasa. The MP admitted to owning the land where they plan to operate for nearly a decade, and that he knew about some sinister activities at the plant as early as 3 years ago. Awito also downplayed the tragic death of tens of children in Owino-Uhuru slums. As KTN's Edith Kimani now explains, Awito's response has left even more questions hanging over his involvement with the killer plant.
Today, Nyali Member of Parliament Awito Bolo called a political rally to give his response. Now, he admitted that he is indeed the owner of the land where Metal Refinery EPZ, a company accused of lead poisoning in Changamwe, sits. However, this is not the first time we're hearing this. KTN's investigative duo of John Alan Namu and Mohammed Ali drew this conclusion in their exposés. In fact, the two went a step further, linking the Nyali legislator to not just the building, but the company itself. Listen to what one of their interviewees says of Bolo.
Mheshimiwa Bolo nilijaribu kuongea naye, hata alituita ofisini kwake, tukaenda. Tulipofika akasema, bwana, mimi nataka hii maneno, ile kampuni ni yangu. Mama, wewe acha maneno mengi, useme hii habari ya kuandamana haina maana. Na hii kampuni hii Kenya ni ya watu wenye pesa. Na ukisema ati ya kwamba mtaandamana, nyinyi ndio mtapoteza.
Now listen to what Bolo told people today in his defense.
I'm the owner. I lease it to Metal Refinery. Then it is changed hands also to another company. Surely, can you know the person rent your house to know what he's doing inside there? Can you know? You can't know. You can't know, surely.
It is that last half of that statement that is proving problematic, and this is what we mean. Bolo claims that while land the factory sits on belongs to him, he was in no position as a landlord to know the dealings within the factory. However, a few minutes later, that statement changes.
Personally, I've refused to collect rent, and I told them to leave. Mimi mwenyewe nilifunga hiyo factory miaka 3 iliyopita. Na nikasema kwamba hii factory isifanye kazi, na haifanyi kwa Mwenyezi Mungu. Haifanyi.
Bolo's own statement implies that he did have prior knowledge of what was going on in the factory. But did he really close the factory? Because a different version of events exists. The National Environment Management Authority is on record saying the factory was in operation until 2 years ago in 2013 when it was finally closed down. Bolo claims he closed it 3 years ago. So who is fooling who? Political enemies, according to Bolo.
This is a launch investigation. And a launch investigation, you cannot make a decision now that I'm going to compensate. I'm compensating what about what? I'm not even sure. Those kids from Owino-Uhuru.
Of course, the children are from Owino-Uhuru, and confirming that would take anyone living in Mombasa just a few minutes to establish this. But the real question is, how deep is Bolo's involvement in lead poisoning? Was he truly blind to what was going on behind the doors of EPZ? Did he really close the factory as he claims? And if he did he report the transgressions to relevant authorities? If not, then why not? Edith Kimani, KTN.